Hey everybody, this is Mitch. I would like to take a couple minutes today to kind of walk through how to decode security errors that you might get running through the Dynamics 365 or the Power Platform model-driven apps. So here is a couple of examples of errors that pop up occasionally. So sometimes these pop up in the user interface, sometimes they're caused by plugins, sometimes they show up in workflows wherever they might be. And so these come from the actual platform layer itself, so the bottom of Dynamics. And what these are telling you is whatever you're trying to do, the user or team or something doesn't have the proper security privilege to do that. Usually these are pretty easy to decode, but let's kind of walk through what we have here. So it says here the principal user with this ID and this type is missing the priv read account privilege, and then an ID which we can ignore. So what this means is I do not have, or this person does not have the ability to read the account entity. Okay, well, a couple things here. Who is this? I don't know. What type is this? I don't know that either. So we have some tools available to us. One of them is in the XR, actually several of them are all in the XR toolbox. So there is a plugin called Metadata Browser, and when you load entities, it will load all the entities within the organization you're connected to. Just click on the object type code to sort it numerically, and as you can see, the type of 8 is system user. The other one that it could possibly be is a type of 9, which is team, since both of these entities can actually own records. So we know it's a 8, so that means it is indeed a user. And then so what I would do is I would copy this GUID here, this ID, and go to the FetchXML builder, and I would query the system user where the system user ID is equal to that user. And when I run this, I will get a, in this case, full name, the access mode, and the business unit for test user, which is the user that we're working with. So that's how you found who they are. And then what you can do is another thing is called the privileges discovery. And so the way this works is you load the privileges, the roles and privileges, and it lists all the privileges here in this first column. The ones at the top under common are the miscellaneous privileges. At the bottom of every list or every kind of page on the security role. And then what we're going to do here is show me who has the ability to create accounts. And then click this button here, and it will show me a list of any of the security roles that have the ability to create an account. And then over here is what they call the depth. So the solid circle is organization level. The yellow circle with the kind of triangle thing at the bottom is user. This is business unit, and then this is parent-child business units here, if I'm not mistaken. So one of these will actually have a privilege. So now what you need to do is, since you know this is the person you're after, you can actually go into the security section of settings and make sure that that user has something assigned to it that includes the create account role. Okay, so pretty simple thing to do there. So let's go look at a couple more formats here. This one I ran into this morning, and I've got a new contract starting with a customer, and they gave me access to the system. The first thing I do is I run my snapshot documentation tool to pull all of the data out of the system to show me how they have everything connected and customized, etc. And I get this error message here. I'm like, well, this is odd. Why is this? Well, so if I go back, here is the ID. So that's the user in question, which is me. Since I'm the one running it, it is a user. I have 2 roles, 563 privileges, and my access mode is 1. In this case, it actually tells you what the problem is the access mode is not set to full. So what is the access mode? Well, the access mode is something that's been in Dynamics since I've been working with it since version 3. And it is actually a license type. Now, this is not the license type that you add to the user within Office 365 that gives them access to the system. This is another access type. And so another license type. So um, they have three different access modes here. So I have administrative in another system, which only allows me to do administrative work. So I only see the settings area. So if I logged into the other system, all I see is settings and whatever's in here. So I can customize things, I can run security, I can add users, etc. Do the things that I need to do to administrate, but I can see no data. So all the other areas, all the other entities are totally gone to me. So if I did a advanced find to look up the account, I wouldn't see any data. Okay, so what I asked the customer to do is change me from administrative to read write, and that will give me full access to the system. I already have the system administrator role, I just don't have the access to do it, and the user cannot change their own role here. Okay, so that's where that one comes from. Another one that I actually farmed off of one of the Facebook groups for Dynamics is a newer error message. This is in a JSON format. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation, which is a way of creating data objects within JavaScript. And so this is the error that showed up. And it's quite long. It's 140 lines long. And what this is kind of a chain of security checks is what it amounts to. And at the bottom is a messages property. And within this message property, it will actually give you the error. It says user principal blah 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 is not found in user data cache. So technically what that means is for some reason or the other, the user with that ID doesn't exist. Now, why is that? I don't know. There's two or three possibilities of how that could have happened. It's a rare occurrence, but it could happen in certain situations, say where you're importing data from another system and you have temporary users, or the user got removed from Active Directory, or whatever it might be. But that's what this means. Okay? So, again, realistically, most of the errors that you will see, it will pretty much point you to what the error is. Really what you need to find out is who is this person, and assuming it's a person, if that's an 8, it's a person, if it's a 9, it's a team. Just think about that. But who is this person? Why do they not have read access, or why can they not append to a workflow, which means I can't run a workflow. I think that's what it means. I can't run the workflow. And once you found out who the person is, then you can go into their user, like we have here. Click on Manage Roles, find out what roles they have, and if they don't have a specific role, then you can give them a role that will give them access to whatever privilege they're trying to accomplish. So that is pretty much how you do security decoding. So anyway, hope that helps. Thanks. Have a great day.